Hi, everybody. This is Rabbi Stephen, and this was a great weekend. We had the bar mitzvah of David Wallace, which was awesome. He did a great job, and kudos to visiting Rabbi Josh Ginsburg Margot, who was part of our congregation who trained him, and it was just an absolute pleasure to be there and see David become a man. And what's even better is now David has also expressed interest, and as has another young man, John Paul Cohn, expressed an interest in getting more involved in the service, the Saturday morning service, being a gabbai, and we're going to pursue that. So what I'd like to do is read one of my older sermons, kind of a redo. Think of it as kind of like the prime season, and then they go into reruns, and then they go back, and this is kind of like that. So this is about regrets in life. Now, there are many stages in life, and each contains its own emotional challenges. Erik Erikson, who was a famous psychologist, looked at various challenges of these particular stages, as he called them, and he categorized each one of these stages as pertaining to a psychosocial development at that stage, but also kind of a challenge, and we'll see a little bit about that. Now, for me, I'm getting to the point in my life in which I'm known as a senior citizen. Of course, this depends on which business is willing to give a discount at whatever specific age. Some are a little older, some are a little younger. But either way, for myself, I'm at that point where I get an invitation to join ARP, American Association of Retired People, just about every other day, it seems. So, approaching these golden years as a senior citizen, for me, I am at the point of looking back in my life, wondering if I made the right choices and pushed myself as much as I could to accomplish things in life. And I say this, in the first person personal, but, I know a lot of you are thinking that way too. Some people think of it, go through their lives thinking this, and it's good. They're evaluating themselves. Some people are a little older. But we all kind of share this particular challenge. As one looks back on our lives, we all wonder if we did the right thing. And again, I'm sure a lot of you have the same feelings. Erikson called this final stage ego integrity versus despair. Do we see our lives as productive? Or do we feel guilty about our past, dissatisfied with what life threw at us, wondering if somehow we could have done better? To extend this a bit, do we feel that somehow life was unfair, always challenging us yet not letting us reap any rewards for any hard work we put in? It's a tough call. Now, even though Erikson confined the stage to older people, again, we have a lot of younger people that go through the same situations, the same, struggle. And I submit that most decisions we make in life come with the afterthought. The afterthought. Did I do the right thing? Did I make the right decision? And it's probably more part of human nature than we think. Time machines do not exist. We cannot go back in time and change things or see how this decision would have worked out. I listened to a lecture by a rabbi on an application. It's kind of a service called Torah Anytime. You might want to check it out. You have various rabbis giving different lectures on, mostly on a particular portion, some of them on a particular Talmud page and whatever, but they're very interesting. But he made a comment that it's a good thing that we live finite lives. Because what that does is create a sense of urgency to accomplish things, since we never really know how much time we have or how we're going to end up. So we have to confront our challenges in life the same way, and we know that we made the best decision we could have for that particular moment with the information and the knowledge we had at that particular stage of life. So what if we're concerned that we made the wrong decision? Consider that Hashem loves teshuvah. Hashem loves it when we feel like we've strayed from the path, the derech, and we've returned to his commandments. And that's what teshuvah means. It means to return. So too, we can always return to what may be a better path after making these less than efficacious decisions. One of the things that people who ruminate on their lives' paths tend to ignore is how much they've grown. They say that hindsight is 20/20. Looking in the rearview mirror, we can always see the bigger picture. What people don't seem to give themselves credit for is the fact that whatever those previous decisions were, they gave us more wisdom and the insight to evaluate our previous actions in a better life. So rather than beat ourselves up for not having that knowledge then, let's use our newfound wisdom, the wisdom we have acquired through these past decisions, to drive our lives with more meaning going forward, right? Finally, let's look at the 10th commandment. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's belongings. In other words, The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, and we want their grass. How about bringing this closer to home? Don't covet your own imaginings either. The better life that you think you could have had you made a different decision, or had a, or whatever, or if the circumstances were different. One of the reasons that stealing is an offense against God is because he apportioned everything for everyone according to his wisdom and according to each of our needs. By stealing, we are really going against his design, or her design. The Me Too, right? We have what we have because God gave us what we needed, what we deserved, and what would motivate us at that time to push ourselves. By coveting another life, we are going against God's plans, questioning his divine knowledge. Let this then answer your question. God put the challenges in front of you, and you did the best you could with what you had. Sure, we may think we could have, would have, should have, wanted something better, but we got the best we could, and we did the best we could under the circumstances with what resources we had. So, if you never consider that somehow you failed, you probably are selling yourself short. Imagine your life, well, what life would have turned out if you didn't have the insight to question.